And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Wedding Chat with Jeremy Brech and Dave Ternier, with Jeremy Brech making a perfect timing. Is he with us?
I don't know if Jeremy's with us.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh, there we go.
That was the only one, Jeremy. I'm going to say the answer is no.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dave, and I'm not sure if Jeremy's going to be on the show tonight.
And the answer maybe
because we gave him food, but oh, he's trying so hard. Technology's tough, John.
It is really tough. So, Dave, before you guys get going, out on Facebook tonight, we actually have a little bit of a survey going on. And that survey basically is asking what night of the week, if we were going to be doing a larger one night of some really awesome, like a mini convention streaming type of thing for the general public, what night between Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday would be the best night for folks? So if you're out on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, go out to the facebook.com/discjockeynews, find the live thing and vote on which one, because we're going to be keeping track over the next couple of weeks and finding out which night will be the best night for the most DJs for seeing such a thing.
Got it. So are you talking about shifting possibly the Monday night? Is that what this is about?
No. To do a special night, because when we get into, we've got some really cool things coming in November where we're going to be having a lot of different DJs who will be coming in, and we're going to do some getting a lot of new faces out here, so you guys will get to meet some new people. Then we get into December. December is going to be really cool, and I'll give you guys a little sneak peek, and then I'll let you get going. December, we're going to be doing a huge drawing. We're going to be giving away probably somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 worth of gear, product, and certificates for DJs who send in a little 1 to 3 minute tip. So you can just go and you shoot these tips and you send these on in. And in the month of December, we're going to be dropping these tips throughout the day on the channel, or throughout early December on the channels. And everybody who sends a tip in will be entered into the drawing for these big prizes. They can do multiple tips. They can do it. And then somewhere in that December 17th, 18th, 19th, in that range, then we're going to do a live drawing where we're going to capture the screen with everybody's name on it. And some people may be in there 10 times because they've entered 10 tips in the contest. And then we're going to generate the number and everyone's going to see, and we're going to go through and give everything away over on live video. So that will be going on in December. So we'll talk more about that. But we want to find out what night's going to be the best night to do that live event. So.
Got it. That sounds like fun. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to put all my stuff on there.
And this is one of the reasons why I want to do the drawing as I just kind of laid it out, is because the only person who's not eligible is basically going to be myself. Otherwise, I want to make it a lot of our contributors. I mean, we have about 50 people who are contributing to what we do here with the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV. And it's kind of almost not fair that the people who are creating the content can't be involved. So we're going to even the playing field. Everyone can do as many videos as they want, as long as they're not repeating, using someone else's information, and they don't really, whatever. Let everyone have a chance, and then we're going to do it right in front of a live studio audience, and you guys will be able to question and answer, make sure that it is going, you're going to see it live. And that way everyone will know that everyone had a completely fair chance to win the prizes. So
I think the only people that should not be permissible are those on dial-up internet.
That's pretty much, Jeremy, sorry. You're not. He is so on dial-up tonight, isn't he?
No. Can you guys hear me?
Not really. We can't hear you that well.
You guys hear me?
We get kind of a profile thing going on. He has kind of that semi-futuristic looking, like maybe a longing looking in his shot.
Oh, Jeremy. We're going to have to work with Jared another night, I think. I'll chat with you about this topic, though. This topic's fun for me.
Jeremy, just shut it down and try coming back in again, please.
Just boot him.
Okay.
God, as a result of last week's show, somebody sent me, I think it was Hunter, a great link to share with Jeremy, too. So, Jeremy, you got to get back on here, buddy, because we need to see your reaction to this. In fact, I'm even going to grab another computer for it, John.
Yeah, go ahead. Go grab that. I'm gonna see if I can bounce Jeremy out so you can come back in.
Oh, Jeremy's great to bounce. I've bounced him many a time.
It's not working.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah, it must be somewhere in his connection that's not working.
Right. Oh, well.
We'll just go and there we go. Now he can hopefully get things cleared.
He's gone. He's gone. Yeah, I don't know if you touched on this topic in any of your other shows elsewhere in the Disc Jockey News TV universe, but has anybody really seriously discussed the whole AI / machine learning thing that's going on right now?
We've touched on it a little bit, and I've talked about with Drax and MJ and a couple of others, and it's interesting to hear the different opinions and thoughts on this, because there's some who will say, "Oh, it can't do." It just, this is never going to happen, and that's
right.
That's probably the most surprising to me, is that they can question the capability, but yet they look at what their cell phone has for capability and what it can do, and what it can do today that it couldn't do 2 to 3 years ago. I mean, just facial recognition and to be able to see and follow your face, and then to make that little emoji that follows, and you can basically do like a little mini movie with a puppy dog as you. That capability, the writing is really on the wall. that artificial intelligence and then the ability to do a lot of the things that we do as entertainers isn't that far off for computers to take that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, everywhere you turn, this is the big topic, and this is not just some sci-fi fantasy dreamed up by, some science fiction writer to scare the world. This is happening so much so right now. I mean, who'd have thought, that Amazon would be seriously considering using drones to deliver packages?
Certainly.
Right? 5 years ago, you would have got laughed at for suggesting that. But today, no.
No, not anymore. No, with the technology and where it's gone, and even self-driving cars. I mean, they were just talking to someone today from Japan who they're putting a lot of billions of dollars into a program to get self-driving cars out there and such. You get some of enough money and enough ingenuity from these different and very super intelligent people in that tech world. Yeah, things are going to happen. It used to be that a lot of tech was driven by the wartime. Mm-hmm. It always that was a big push. Like it or not, it's reality. Then the big technology push happened because of the space program. Now it's interesting this day and age, is technology being pushed by a different realm or a different situation? I mean, obviously, yes, there's still battles and conflicts, but it's really not pushing technology.
Right. I think technology is being pushed now by the fact that possibility has met reality in a way, right? All that stuff we've dreamed about for so long is meeting reality really fast and hard right now. And as you gain momentum with a couple of things that are, possibility, concept to reality, the ball gets rolling faster and faster and faster as we knock down more things that were just written about in Star Trek.
That's exactly where I was going to go to. You look at the things we have today and you watch the original Star Trek series and you're like, oh my gosh, we got that now. I'm just waiting for
on the whole self-driving cars things, people laugh at me when I say this, but my two daughters are 6 and 7.5. Here where we live in Manitoba, you got to be 16 years old before you can get your license. There is a very real possibility neither of them may ever drive.
You mentioned that one night, and I was thinking,
it's true.
And
there's a possibility of it. I would say it's like 50 to 70% chance right now.
Yeah, and that just astounds me.
Yeah, I mean, as one of the comments 10 years ago, Amazon was a bookstore. Look at them now.
Yeah.
As it pertains to DJs, I mean, I think you saw this article when I wrote it a year-ish or so ago, maybe a year and a half ago, the end of the DJ, and in that article, I dreamed up a whole AI system, and the system that I, dreamt up, had been, monitoring all the guests during cocktail hour and dinner hour, and, was able to distinguish every single person from one another and could distinguish their body parts. And as a result, could count how much their foot was tapping to different music that it was selecting to play. And as a result of all that data, it's taking all that and determining what's going to be the dance music for that night based on, wow, did more people tap their foot to that Billy Joel song during dinner, or did more people tap their foot to that Brooks and Dunn song during dinner, right? Yeah. It's learning. It's And of course, after I described all that, I think I then said something about the fact that, and of course, it's mining all this data from just one event, but this same software is currently working at, 18,000 events tonight. So it's putting all of that data together and knowing just so well what to do. And I think, will a wedding DJ survive the AI revolution? I really think it's going to depend how much DJs are willing to step outside the box of just being the person that shows up and pushes play.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be requiring a different set of entertainment tools. Let's jump back to that article, Dave. You said you dreamed that up. I mean, how much of that were you basing on maybe some information you've read, or were you pulling this out of your own little sci-fi memory?
My imagination starts to run away with me a little bit. And I mean, I do read up on tech, a bit. I wouldn't say massively. I mean, I do subscribe to a bit of tech news that comes to my email every morning, 7 days a week, out of Silicon Valley, which I love reading all the not all the articles, but I'll skim through them.
Sure.
So I do have my finger a little bit on the pulse, but I linked to a video at the end of that post, which I can pull up for people. The video I can pull up for people if they want at some point, where there was some, and I discovered this video literally 2 days after publishing this blog post, where some guys at a TED conference were demoing just how remarkable the software was they had when it came to analyzing people in a real-time environment. Yes. And they literally, at the TED conference, they literally flipped their camera around to show the audience, and on the big TED screen, you could see the software instantly saying, labeling things, briefcase, hat, all these things that were out there on the audience on people's heads. Because they've built all these profiles in for the software to recognize certain configurations and geometrical shapes and all this type of stuff. And when I saw that, honestly, that just kind of drove it home. I'm like, this is here. It's just a matter of somebody making it.
Yeah, and it's incredible because when you, after reading your article and knowing some of the things that we had gotten from CES last year, Consumer Electronic Show. And they had talked, there was a couple of booths there that had the ability to, the little robot would look at the person and it could identify facial expressions. If you were sad, oh, why were you sad? I mean, it's just, these are little simple things, but it's all, these things all come together to be that system that will eventually be able to identify the crowd, identify the dance floor, and within a few songs to be able to probably predict with a high percentage of success what's going to work in a room.
And let me throw this one out there. This just hit me. The software will also be able to identify unique people. Now, it won't know them personally because privacy rules are likely going to get pretty tough the next few years as a result of everything going on with Facebook and Google and all those people who love to sell their users' information. But it will, John, for instance, it'll see you come onto the dance floor to Steve Earle Copperhead Road or whatever it might be. And then when you turn up at an event 6 months from now, it's going to see you and go, oh, that's the guy that liked Copperhead Road. I'm going to play that. Mm-hmm. Because we have two Nest cameras installed in our house. One that kind of looks out over the driveway and one that's in the house that kind of looks back through the house and toward the backyard. And those Nest cameras, the software that's powering it in the cloud, already has the ability to tell me apart from my daughter.
Yeah.
So I can set notifications using the Nest software to send me a notification if somebody wanders down my driveway, but don't send me a notification if it's any of these people. I mean, it's fascinating to me. Fascinating. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, DJs, probably saying, oh, who would ever produce something like that? That's going to kill our market. Well, it's not going to be a DJ that produces something like that. Don't kid yourselves, folks. It'll be somebody who knows how to build it and sees an opportunity to create a very lucrative business.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. I mean, you just look at the prevalence of the DJ software and the things that the DJ software can do. How Pioneer is an example, how much money they've stuck into Rekordbox and controlling the lights and controlling all aspects of your show from one little thing. It's not that much. And once the first company gets there and has something that functions at a high level, there's going to be a lot to do. Jeremy, Dave, we're going to have to shut this Zoom down and do it again.
Okay.
Because Jeremy is, so what I'm going to do is, for those of you watching live, I'm going to just go to my camera and we're going to shut Zoom down and get Jeremy and Dave back here. So Dave, jump out of this one and then I'll send you guys, send you a new link here in just a second.
Sounds good. Folks, stay tuned. Be right back after this commercial break.
Yeah, that would be a great time for us to run a commercial. But, you know, instead of doing that, we're just going to talk to you guys just a little bit here before we get going. If, in case you missed at the beginning, we have a poll going on with Facebook. Oh, my mouse isn't letting that go. You can go to our Facebook, the live stream there, and pick a night that would work the best for a more in-depth live stream event that we're going to be doing in December. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going through and doing kind of a survey on each show, trying to find out what is going to be the absolute best for doing such a thing. So let's see, the guys have got their link. And I think hopefully, there we go, they'll be ready to come back here. But yeah, that's out at facebook.com/discjockeynews. And there's Dave back again. Good. Dave,
hey, everybody.
Hang on, I've got you. I don't have you on the screen. Oh, my screen capture. They can hear you, I think, but they won't be able to see you until I reset the window. Because
Something like this. So tell you what, John, I'll talk. You move your lips and...
It'll be great. Oh, let's see. I'm going to go this one right here. There we go. And then I've got to select the window. Sure. Now, if Jeremy decides he's going to go have like Pop-Tarts insteed of coming onto the show, you know, and we restarted and we had such a flow going, and then, you know, because I mean, I almost had that feel when I, got the message saying, "Oh, that's okay," kind of, it's all good. Don't restart the video. And I think the next line was, "Yeah, I'm going to go have a Pop-Tart." I think that's what he's going to do.
A Pop-Tart.
That's kind of a thing. At least my kids are into that. So.
I'm a terrible parent. I don't think my kids have ever had a Pop-Tart.
No, that's being a good parent.
I need to teach that one day.
There's times where it's the lazy thing to do, and it's like, I could be, no, just here, take this, go. We've got to get to practice. Take this, go.
That being said, I am the guy that sneaks Nutella or Duo Pinotti into the house every now and then.
See, now that I've had this last week, my revelation was pumpkin spice coffee. I'd never had that before, and it was really, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go out and try something new. And I tried Nutella for the first time. What rock have I been living under? Nutella and a peanut butter on a sandwich?
Yeah.
Where? I feel bad.
Yeah. Well, John, I'll let you enjoy Nutella for a while, and then I'm going to send you a jar of Duo Pinotti, which is where the idea for Nutella came from. It's the Dutch original, and it's Dutch original, just like I am, right, Jer?
Are we live right now?
We are live, and you are with us. So I'm going to bounce, guys, and you guys could continue on here. I've got to reset the window. Yeah, you got a much better connection this time, Jeremy.
Yeah, so we're having like a huge windstorm right now, and our internet keeps dropping in and out. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's weird.
We got 6 to 8 inches of snow today.
Oh my gosh! Keep it.
I know, right?
We were 85 degrees today.
What?
Yeah, and we've been in like the 40s or the 50s and the low 60s.
Okay. In Canadian speak, we were 0 today, which is 32 in your speak.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I know what temperature it has to be to snow.
Are we
live right now? Are people watching?
We are live.
What the heck?
Sorry, folks. Tonight's kind of gone off the rails. Apparently, Jared's having some issues, but God, we really appreciate you all sticking around, though. Damn.
Yeah, and now I'm getting attacked, I think, by like spider webs.
David Ellick, no snow in Ontario. It's 18 degrees here. Really? Holy God.
Yeah. Should move. Anyways, well, hey guys, yeah, thanks for your patience, and I'm glad that I could make this work. I'm not in my normal office because we actually had an event that I needed my my USB microphones set up for, and I haven't had a chance to put it back together yet. So my office is like not put together. And so I'm in the other office. I'm here.
It's all right. I've done shows from quote unquote on the road outside the office before too. So wherever you may
I've seen that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I know that we're a little behind schedule already, but the topic tonight, I'm kind of excited because I don't know a lot about it. I haven't dug a lot into the technology and things that we face in the future, but I think everybody knows we are always going through changes and transitions, and how do we adapt to that? So I think this is going to be a really fun topic, and I look forward to hearing from others on what they've heard, what they've seen, what they feel is coming down the pipeline, because I would love to know. I would love to know those answers, because I'm gonna have questions.
Yeah, John and I talked a little bit about it. I mean, I'm not sure if you remember, Jared, I wrote that article a year or two-ish ago called "The End of the DJ," where I dreamed up a whole AI system that's going to replace us.
Yep, I remember that.
Well, it's going to replace some DJs. It's going to complement some DJs. God, by the way, ladies and gents, you think the sync button is controversial? That's got nothing on how controversial it'll be when DJs start using AI systems to help them play the music.
Yep. Yeah, no kidding.
So yeah,
I do remember. I remember that article that you wrote. That was last year, wasn't it?
You know, when was it? It was
last year.
Holy God, just over a year ago, August 8th, 2017.
See? Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, I think I remember the article, and I think you have some really valid points. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Dave writes a blog, DJ
DJthought.com. Yeah. Let's use the past tense term, wrote a blog, because it's been quiet for a while. I'll tell you what, I'll pull a couple of paragraphs from the article just to give everybody some context, I guess, on where this is coming from. This was written a year ago. I would modify this even more with what I've learned about AI over the last year. But so I described just a typical first dance and then the fun dance party. And then after describing all that, because I give no illusion to the fact that there is or is not a DJ, I write, isn't it amazing to think what can be accomplished without a DJ? The as yet unnamed technology responsible in large part for the success of this party is a form of AI combined with the power of data collection and analysis from machine learning. For the difference between AI and machine learning, read this article. So with the use of cameras and software, music is mixed perfectly. In fact, even more perfect than humans can do. The cameras are set up around the room with a focus on the front of the room near the head table on the dance floor. From the moment guests began arriving, the DJ software was analyzing the live video from the camera, carefully measuring the physical movements of the guests, foot tapping, shoulder movements, width of smiles on faces, as the music plays, what songs get the biggest smile, what songs don't, in response to the music it was playing. Using the collected data as rapidly as it was being analyzed, the music genre and style was continually adjusted in real time to match what the guests were reacting to physically. And then when it came time to dance, data from the cocktail dinner hour was used to evaluate what a possible ratio of one type of music to another might be used for the dance portion of the evening. And then, of course, this is only data from one event. In my example, I said the software also used data from the numerous other events that a DJ, 48,482 as of that night, to be more specific. The software knew, for instance, that following up song XYZ with the tune ABC based on a crowd of 25 to 45-year-olds in this region of Philadelphia will, at this time of day, work with exactly 98.7% accuracy. Here's what I'm saying. The look on Jeremy's face right now is exactly the look our insides go, because we can't even, there's no way humans can work at that level. There's no way a human can function at that level. Would you agree?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, so think about it. How many of us? Well, I really didn't get big into Star Trek, but think about the old Star Trek shows, and they would pop open this device and they would communicate through it, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, can you imagine that day when that happens?" And I mean, that's like the only way people communicate now. So to think that, oh my gosh, could you imagine when that happens? I mean, it's happening. You're guarantee there's nightclubs that are already established doing this because it's going to be cheaper for them to be able to function that way. So how do we adapt? How are we preparing for when that happens to a mobile market?
Right. Well, I think AI and the advance of it is going to do one of three things depending on who you are. It's going to either eliminate your job, it's going to eliminate you,
Yep.
or it's going to complement you, allowing you to do just that many more creative things.
Yeah.
Or you will have developed a style so unique that people will hire you for you because of the entertainment experience, not to infringe on Bill Herman's copyrights, but because of the experience that you're going to bring. I think DJs are going to have to massively step outside the box. Change is the only guarantee. And if a DJ right now is complaining that they're not getting booked because they can mix and program really, 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 really well, that's just going to be an evidence of a person not stepping outside the box like they need to. That worked great 10, 12 years ago.
And I think it even goes beyond just the music mixing, Dave, because people are always like, oh, a jukebox. Yeah, jukebox can play music. Anybody can play music, but no one can interact on a microphone. You can't have a computer as an MC. You can't have a computer be that interaction. Again, give it time. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Right.
It could be a hologram of a performer. It could be heck, it could be Billy Crystal as an MC as doing your wedding, or David Tutera doesn't really do weddings like that, but some of the best MCs out there, you're like, oh my gosh, I could have Michael Butler as my doing my introductions.
Right.
That stuff is not out of the question.
Well, it's no mistake that over the last 8 years or so, I've put more money into developing myself as an MC and as a unique personality than anything else. There's no mistaking that, because I saw that as being the most straightforward path to being able to do this full time.
Well, that's your most valuable asset.
Well, and I think it's going to become even more valuable as technology starts to replace, sadly, I'll say it, sadly, the DJ side of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right. That microphone work, if you're somebody who hasn't invested in that side of you, do it before you get replaced.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're investing in music all the time. I know everybody here that's watching this, right? We're buying new gear. We're buying a new controller. We're spending hours and hours practicing mixing. And heck, we're maybe even going and taking some of the mixing workshops that are out there. We're spending lots of money on music. I know we're all investing in music, but who's investing in their microphone short of actually just buying the mic?
Yeah. Yeah, not so much the tangible microphone, but the skill behind the microphone.
Yeah,
exactly. And I think, and look at it right now, Dave, because you and I know there's a lot of others out there too that are going out for a premium rate. We make decent money when we go out to do a wedding, and we should. It's our job.
Right.
And people aren't hiring me because I'm an awesome mixer. Yeah, I can do a great job of mixing music, but my skill set is what I do as an MC. So it's funny because a lot of people who watch the show, who watch my YouTube channel, who go to my presentations, they see me as this more of a lighting designer type thing. But in my market, I'm actually the best or most well known for my work as a master of ceremonies. We do great events and stuff here, but again, when people see what I do as an MC, it's so different than even what my guys do. It's so different than some of my competition in the area. And I can't tell you that I've seen them perform, but just hearing people talk about, we went to a wedding and this person was the DJ, and just asking questions when I sit down in a sales meeting, what are some things that you've seen? What are some things that, well, we were at this DJ's wedding and, they just didn't do this, or they kind of overdid this. So I can kind of understand a little bit about what my competition is doing. But the biggest thing is not focusing on what they're doing. It's what I'm doing. It's what I'm not doing. And I don't mean what I'm not doing like I'm doing everything perfect. Maybe there's things that I'm currently not doing that I could be doing better, which could even improve what I'm doing in the long run. So there's a lot of cool things that can come from just hard work on a microphone and being comfortable with script writing and things like that.
Yeah. I should say, I think wedding DJs, out of all the different styles of DJ out there, I think, the topic of tonight, the question that was asked, right? Will wedding DJs survive the AI revolution? I do honestly think that wedding DJs, out of all the different types out there, do have the highest odds of surviving it.
Yeah.
If you were to compare us to club DJs or bar DJs, that type of thing, I think we have the highest odds by a long shot.
So that kind of goes back to the mobile DJ. Are we on the same page with that? I mean, because think about like a mitzvah dance or a mitzvah celebration. I don't have a single Jewish person in South Dakota, so I have no idea what goes on in a mitzvah. But and actually, funny because I just talked to Big Daddy this morning, and he is doing a presentation at Mobile Beat on mitzvah celebrations and basically how they interact with mitzvahs. I'm excited to go. I'm excited to see that because I have no clue what it's about. And I always love learning new things. And it's not just about how are they celebrating the mitzvah. It's how are they interacting and how can I maybe incorporate that into my middle school, my high school, my even my weddings. How can I take that energy and place that into my events? So it'll be interesting to see that. But again, I think as a whole, when we talk about our role as a DJ, I think we almost look at the whole mobile aspect of an entertainer. Because like I said, I can see this stuff already happening in big clubs where they're paying their DJs $5 million, to spin on a Friday night or whatever it is. I don't even know what they make anymore, but it's like, well, I can have him spin. And then when I'm not paying a premium DJ, I can have this AI taking care of the entertainment aspects.
Right.
And so on. So,
yeah, there will certainly always be a place, I think, for celebrity. So, Hakkasan does not bring Calvin Harris in because Calvin Harris can mix one song better than another. They bring Calvin Harris in because Calvin Harris brings people in.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like people don't actually want to hear Paris Hilton spin a record.
Right. They go because of the celebrity factor. Exactly. Yeah. So, those people will survive. And then those who haven't attained that will go by the wayside. Now, how does Tiesto or Calvin Harris or you name it, become great? Obviously, they know this. They know the basics of DJing, of course. But look at how far out of the box they got. I mean, to even call them DJs anymore is, I think, a bit of a misleading statement, truth be told.
Right.
I'll just say it right now. Tiesto has a far easier time selecting music to mix for one of his crowds than I did at my wedding this past weekend, for instance. Tiesto, don't care what you play. Just keep it consistent and I will love you.
I think, did we talk about Pandora last week?
It was brought up.
Or Spotify or something like that. You think about it, Pandora's been doing this for years. It's, hey, you like this song? You might also like this song.
Right.
Now there's not the interaction of, like you said, like cameras and things like that. But also look in the lighting aspects. People are using sound active, and it's almost like an it's almost like an AI experience because it's listening to the music and it's reacting to it.
Right.
And same thing with you look at programs like, I know Pioneer just came out with one, but
Rekordbox.
It's a Rekordbox program, but basically you have to program the lighting and then it just do it. SoundSwitch is the Chauvet brand. So things like that. But again, there's programming that goes into that. But once you've done that, then the software almost listens to what you've created in this beat grid, and it uses those styles of sequences and incorporates those into other songs that are similar. So, you know, we're seeing that already in the lighting as well. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see where we're going to end up here the next couple of years.
Yeah. Well, and I think a DJ that maybe doesn't feel like this is something they need to really worry about is likely just somebody who doesn't follow tech too much.
Yeah.
You know, Jared, I don't know if you ever saw that TED Talk video, but these guys are up on stage demonstrating just how remarkable their software is at pointing a video camera at a room full of people and being able to identify individual objects that people are holding. So live on screen at TED, they took their camera, they flipped it toward the TED audience, and then on the big TED screen in the background, you saw the audience. And in real time, zero lag, you saw it adding little identifiers beside all kinds of objects that it would put an outline box around, you know, briefcase, hat on somebody's head, glass of water, etc. All in real time. As fast as they could swing that camera around, it had everything analyzed and identified.
So I was actually talking with Matt Radicelli. I believe it was him who was telling me about this. He's like, yeah, when I go to China, I have a translator program on my phone, and basically I just move my phone around and I look at the screen, and it translates it, like you said, it translates it in real time as if he's looking right at that sign. You know, that it's just incredible. I think augmented reality, I mean, a lot of that has to do with augmented reality, but I also feel that, you know, AR in the future is going to really replace a lot of things. So yeah, the technology is always changing, and it's how are we staying on top of that technology to, like you said, take advantage of it and allow it to make us better at what we're doing instead of replacing us and eliminating us.
Right. You know what? Let's go down that rabbit hole. Just dream with me here for a quick second, everybody. So Apple just bought a company, I believe, that specializes in some technology that may very well be the stepping stone to getting computers on a contact lens. So talk about the ultimate augmented reality experience, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
So let's go down the rabbit hole in this sense. So Jeremy, you and Sarah are planning a wedding or a party of some sort. And of course, everybody has these augmented reality contacts now because everybody does, much like everybody has a cell phone. I mean, it's just the day and age, right? So you want to provide for them a remarkable experience. So you're going to spend some big bucks. You're going to go hold of Calvin Harris and say, hey, man, you know, we want your persona playing at our wedding. So you pay him the fee. He sends you the whatever software you need because you bought the license for one night. And when everybody walks in and the dance starts, because they've all got augmented reality contacts in, up on stage, there's nobody there, but they see Calvin Harris because you hired him for the night.
Yeah.
Now Calvin Harris can be working, you know, he doesn't have to take a flight between, you know, the 10 p.m. show he's doing and the 3 a.m. show he's doing.
And I guarantee he's not doing a lot of weddings right now anyways.
Right. But, okay, I mean, so bring it down a notch. Janai, shout out to Janai, right? Great brand, all that type of stuff. Janai in that world could be literally at a dozen events at the same time.
Yeah.
And does it matter if it's real or not? Of course it doesn't. It doesn't matter one lick. What matters is if the feeling in here is real.
Right.
And augmented reality will, I mean, we've already seen through, you know, the experience people have had with Pokemon Go and all that type of stuff. It has every ability to create remarkable feelings and experiences. Different, sure, but it's creating them.
So I'm glad I'm glad we're talking about this. I actually had just purchased. I've got 2 of them right now. I have another one on the way. We have the big Halloween party that we do, and this year it is Marvel Comic Infinity Wars. And when I was doing some research, I'm like, okay, I got to figure out what is the entertainment going to be for this theme this year. And I found this VR setup from Oculus, and I picked up 2 Oculus Rifts, and I just got them hooked up tonight. I haven't started that game yet, but just the introduction game of like you basically have this little, it looks like Wally. He like interacts with you and you pick up these discs from him and you put these discs in the machine and you get these rockets and you get this taser gun and all this stuff. It's so unreal. I mean, it's so real, it's unreal. It's like you feel, I mean, you have these controllers, you pick up the gun, you aim it, you're moving around, you move your head. I mean, the VR is just incredible. And, you know, those experiences that, you know, we're just diving into, those are going to be the common things. You know, it's like when Nintendo first came out, if you had a Nintendo, you were cutting edge.
Right.
And pretty soon everybody had a Nintendo. And
just commonplace as this. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, you know, with the VR stuff, like you said, people could just put on a VR headset and go into a whole different experience. Yep. And with that future of augmented reality, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be, you know, they put that contact in, like you said, they're taken to this magnificent location, this magnificent venue, but they could just be in an old warehouse. But what they're actually seeing is completely different. It's all digital. It's all make believe.
Yeah, very true. Very, very true. Well, hey, I hope this was some valuable perspective for people. Gosh, stay human. No, become more human than you are right now. Don't become less human. Now is not the time to become less human.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I do have one more thing to share with you that's completely off topic when we get there.
Okay, well, let me finish with my final thought then.
Yeah.
I think I've said this before in a final thought. I would say be willing and ready to adapt, because if you don't, then you're going to. I'll just put it at that. You have to be willing and ready to adapt.
100%.
That's it. That's all I got. I don't even know how to.
So after last week's show, Jer, the remarkable Hunter Harrison was watching our show. Thanks, Hunter, for checking out our show and for being a viewer. And he was like, the reaction that Jeremy had to the Baby Shark song was great. Shark, do. So compliments of Hunter. Hunter and I would like to share with you, Jer, the next song that Ping Fong may have coming to your ears very soon, called Monkey Banana.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. I think I'm good. I get it. I don't get it is actually what I should be saying. I don't get it, but I get what you got going on there.
Thanks Hunter, for that.
I almost want to review my final thoughts at this point, but I'm good.
Yeah. Anyway, will you get replaced by AI? Folks, that lies entirely with you.
Hey, if music is getting replaced by that, anything is possible.
That's a great way to sign off. Sorry about the technical troubles, everybody, but we'll see you again. Cheers.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.